What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Friday Vape Club. As always, your host Squidly, back for another review for you. What have we got going on today? Well, look at this monstrosity. We are going to review this. This is the Hadron 220 by Steam Crave. It comes as a dual 21700 regulated device. But look at this little thing. The little backpack. Oh, that's right. It's got a squonk backpack. You can just on the side, couple of fucking screws. Bob's your uncle. You can turn it into a squonking device. Oh, so what we're going to do is we're going to dive down. We're going to take a real quick look around it, like we always do. Then we're going to jump back up top. Here, we're going to do the pros, cons, price, if I would recommend this thing or not. So stick around and watch this video. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate a subscribe. Do not forget to smash that like button for me and drop a comment down below. Love those comments, love those interactions. Me and you, one-on-one, face-to-face, or text-to-text, thumb-to-thumbs. Hey, can you feel it? Feel that sexual energy? So let's get into this and roll that intro. Alrighty, here we have a closer look at that Steam Crave Hadron 220. What do you think the 220 stands for? That's right, it stands for this thing can do 220 watts. So let's do a couple of specs on this thing, shall we? It is 99.2 millimeters tall. It is 48 millimeters this way, and it is 38 millimeters this way. So this thing will accommodate up to a 35 millimeter atomizer. You thought I was going to say 38, and to be honest, I was, but then I looked at my notes, it said 35. So you can fit a 35 millimeter across the top. Up the top here, you do have your 510 connection. This thing is fucking screwed into place, so this shit ain't coming off. It's not going to pull a Predator on you. Does anyone remember the Wismec Predator and how that thing used to just pop off whenever you take an addy? You could just pull the whole fucking assembly out. Well, this doesn't. Now it looks like it contains a little hole there for a little squonky 510. Well, that's because you can. Look at that thing. So yeah, I'll show you how to sort that out in a minute. Down the front here, you do have your fire button, which leads you into the screen, and then you've got your up, you've got your sort of menu or your mode, and then you've got your down button and a USB charging port down there. Underneath, you have got usual shit. This is where you install your batteries. Give that a whip open, ba-boom. Nice, clean on the inside. You've got some battery orientation that you can't probably see, but whip your batteries in like so. Very nice, sturdy metal connection. Slide it back, done. Down the back here, you got a couple of little holes right here, and looks like one here. What is that about, I hear you saying? Well, that is because this thing, you can chuck a little squonk backpack on it, and I'll show you how to use that in just a sec. Down the side here, you've got Hadron 220. You've got these kind of heat fins that don't really do anything. It's just more there for show than anything else. Look at that. Nice deep engraving, Steam Crave. Very, very lovely indeed. But quickly, let's take a look at the screen, shall we? Up the top, you do have your ohms, you've got your applied voltage, you've got the mode that you're in. So at the moment, I'm in power mode. You do have your watts right there, and then you do have it's like your flavor setting or your preheat, and then you've got a battery indication underneath. Now, this is a very simple and easy to use device. If I hold the up and the down buttons, I can turn this into novice. See how it changed there to novice, which means that all I can actually do is just change the wattage. It does nothing else. If I want to play around with features, use the temperature control, change the preheats and stuff like that, I literally hold these down, up and down buttons again, and now it changes. Now you can see I've got memory 1, so I'm in the memory mode. I've got that preheat. Now if I want to change the memory 1 mode or different memory modes, so say I'm using the squonk with a mesh deck and I want to change it to the the tank or whatever, I just push the up button and you'll see that it will change memory 2, memory 3, so on and so forth. Now that's all very well and cool, but I'm pushing the up button, and now how do I change that wattage? Well, you simply just push the mode button again, it highlights the wattage, and now I can change it if I want to. To get out of this, I just push the fire button. That's that easy. Now, if I'm in memory 1 and I want to actually change this from wattage to, say, temperature control, I can push the mode button again, the middle button, and it highlights the wattage. Now, if I push the mode button again, it will change. So I can scroll through all of this cool stuff till I'm back to the regular wattage, hit it again, I'm in power mode, bloody marvelous. If I want to play around with the power feature, I just push the down button and it will change. So I can set whichever one I want. I've been using the Powerful Plus. That's right, the Powerful Plus. Let's get to that. Boom. And that is how easy it is. Now look, it's a little bit fiddly to begin with, but once you get the hang of it, it does become pretty straightforward. I just like to set it and forget it, and then dial in different memory functions for whichever one you want. So if you like, memory 1 is your mesh deck, and then something else for memory 2, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. All right, so that's a quick look around it. What we might do is I'm just going to show you how simple it is to actually put the Squonk backpack on here. Okay, this here is the Squonk backpack for it. So it holds 18 mils of liquid inside. Pretty straightforward. There's your viewing window. Up the top here, this is your fill port. So you unscrew like this, and then you just literally dump your juice inside. Fucking massive, massive fill port. This here is your pumper. So it is not a push button, it is a pumper style. So because of that, there is no drawback into this Squonk backpack. All your liquid stays sort of in the tank itself. So there you go. This is the attachment point, which goes into the back of the Hadron. And then you've got your hole, and these are sort of placement holes or screw holes to really secure the backpack in place. It is really, really easy to install. First of all, take your Hadron, whip this little silicone plug out because you do not need that, but do not lose it just in case you want to revert this back to your regular dual 21700 device. Just remove that little grommet from the back of here. Now all you need to do is line this up. Very, very easy. And it goes in place like so. Now there are 2 other screws that you need. You've got this one here with the little thread and the long shaft. That one goes in the bottom. Get a flathead screwdriver, screw it down. And then you got this little guy, look at this little guy. And he goes right there. This one's a little bit trickier, but you get the hang of it. I can't. I was trying for a hole in one there, didn't fucking work. I'm gonna have to try this the other way. And there you go, screw, held into place. Let's give it a little pump, eh? Ooh. So there you have a Hadron 220 with the 18mm Squonk backpack. There, that's it. Let's take a look at the packaging for these, shall we? Packaging. All right, here is your packaging for the Hadron. There's your Squonk backpack. So let's take a look inside both. All right, you open up the packaging. Inside here, this is where your Hadron is sitting. You do get a couple of baggies or spare things. So you get a couple of spare O-rings. You do get some O-rings and another spare one of those grommets. You do get a user manual. You get a battery safety pamphlet. Get a couple of silicon battery connections to use 18650s if you don't have 21700s. And you get a very nice braided USB cable. Last but not least, a Steam Crave sticker. Okay, in the Squonk backpack. Just, can you give me finger holes, Steam Crave? These boxes are fucked. All right, inside here you get instructions on how to mount the backpack. Phrasing. You get some spare O-rings. This packet was where the screws came in, and you get a Steam Crave sticker. Okay, the box is done. Let's jump back up top and do the pros, the cons, the price, and if I think this is the best or the worst device ever. All right, so there we had a quick look around. This thing, the Hadron, we are gonna take it for a vape. So I have got the mesh deck inside of the Ragnar. I think it's called the Ragnar. It's the 35mm Steam Crave RDTA. So it's in dripper mode or RDA mode at the moment. Got the mesh deck inside there so I can squonk with it, squonkable. I have got some Boule Bolu on the inside because you cannot have a review or test a product without that Boule Bolu. It's a fucking staple, has to be done. I have got 70 watts on the dial. Let's take it for a ripperoo. Oh yeah. So you push the go button and it works. Look at that shit. Cool. Okay. So there you can see. She works. She works very well. Let's talk about the pros and the cons. So I have got some pros right here. Couple of pros for this thing. First of all, chapang, squonkable. I can take this shit off if I want, or I can put it on and it becomes either a regulated device or a squonkable regulated 21700 device. Pretty fucking sensational. That is just innovation right there. Perfection. Love it. The other pro for this is it will fit a 35mm atomizer. That's right. That's 35mm. It is a fucking beast of a thing. So that's pretty cool. Like Steam Crave have thought about this and they're like, oh, well, we can chuck 35mm on there. Let's make a 35mm. In fact, let's make a dripper and a tank and put them together and then put them on this and then make this being able to take a tank or a squonkable device. Pretty fucking cool. The other thing about this device is it does have the Yeehee chip. So if you're into your chips and shit like that, then you know that the Yeehee is pretty bloody good. So it's got the Yeehee chip in here. So I don't really understand it. I don't get it. I'm not a chip guy. As long as it works, that's me. I'm cool. But yeah, if you like the Yeehee, then get into it. It's got a Yeehee chip. Now, it is a girthy beast. I will say that. But it is heavy. And with that heaviness, feels a sense of quality. You're getting a sense of quality. You're getting a sense of, I could take this thing and I could hit you upside the head with it and I could crush your brains in and this thing would walk away perfectly fine, but your skull would be mush. And that's what I feel with this. And I think that's kind of cool. Like it's real sturdy and quality, and when you put it down, you could use it as a doorstop. That's fucking awesome. So I love that about it. Let's say, what else is there? You can upgrade your firmware, so that's another pro. So, if they release new things and new tricks with this Yeehee chip, you can upgrade that firmware and you're gonna get the latest rendition of the software, so that's pretty bloody decent. Now, it does say that in temperature mode, it does have some anti-burn technology. Now, I don't know how real this is, or whether Steam Crave is just pulling one over me because, I'm not gonna use that. And I don't think many people are gonna use temperature control, but it is kind of cool. Look, if they really have sorted out this technology where it's not gonna burn, it senses potentially a dry hit, and it's like, no, I will not do that. That's cool, like, it's got your back. That's pretty cool. It's like the best wingman ever. It's got your back. It's not gonna let you take a dry hit. It's not gonna let you take home that, large, ugly woman from the club. It's like, no, stop right there. We're not doing that to you, son. You're a cool wingman, man. I like that about you, Hadron. You're a cool wingman. Despite its boxy nature, you've got these curved edges around here, and it's not sharp in the hand. Yeah, it is. You've got to find a way to hold it, and I prefer to kind of hold it like this. It works for me, but yeah, it's not too uncomfortable for such a large, girthy hand feel. For such a large, girthy thing in your hand. I was trying to say girthy and holding it in your hand without sounding like too sexual or too innuendo-y. Innuendo-y. Get it? Like innuendo? Anyway. Yeah, so it's comfortable. Let me just say that. Despite it being large and girthy, it's comfortable and pleasant to hold in the hand. That was what I was trying to avoid saying, because it does sound very sexual, and I know that probably will be comments down below like, you hold a lot of girthy things in your hand. I was expecting that. I was trying to, deviate around it. It didn't work. Apologies. It's sexual. It is what it is. That's about the pros for this thing. Let's talk about the cons. I have 2 cons for this. Well, 3 cons, okay? One is, it's fucking massive. It is not a mod you're gonna put in your pocket and you're gonna take out with you, unfortunately. It is just too obtruse and in your face. And when you put it in your pocket, hang on, let's see. Are you gonna be able to see? Maybe not, hang on. Oh. Look at that. Look at how massive that is. It's just too massive. It doesn't work. You can't fit it in your pocket. It's ridiculous. So yeah, you're not gonna be able to fit it in your pocket and take it about with you. It's not a stealthy little thing. And 2, it is an ugly motherfucker. It ain't the prettiest fucking thing in the world. Look at it. It's got yeah, sure, it does have a nice coating, a nice color. There's nothing about it that screams sex appeal. It's just, not sexy at all. The Hadron is not a sexy device. And 2, no, that was 2. And 3, my third con, if you can say a con, is the pump action takes a fair amount of time to get used to. This thing here, this pump action, boom, boom. Now I have squirted 0.4 of a mil of liquid in here, but there's no drawback. With a regular squonk bottle, as you push it in, you get the liquid go up inside, and as you take your finger off and the bottle expands back, it sucks out excess juice back into the bottle. You don't have that capacity with this, so it does take a little bit of learning to get used to. I found that while using this, I would over squonk, I'd get liquid coming out, and it would be very messy. So just bear that in mind, that if you like the pump style and you're used to it, you'll probably like this. If you haven't used it before, bear in mind there's a bit of a learning curve to it. It's not massive, it's not a deal breaker, it's just something I noticed while I was using this. So that's the pros and the cons out of the way. Let's talk about the price. A little bit of Google foo around the internet, and I found this on sale in the States for $110 and $150 here in Australia. Now, you might be thinking that's a bit excessive. And yeah, it is a little bit excessive, but think about what you're getting. You are getting a dual 21700 regulator device that has the ability to be squonk backpacked. It also contains a Yee chip, and that's a pretty good chipset. So yeah, $150, I didn't think was too bad. I didn't think, you're really gonna break the bank with that. There are mechanical tubes that are shit times more expensive than that, and that's just a bit of fucking steel or alley or brass that's been drilled out, and that's about it, So yeah, it's pretty good. Now we come down to the part of the review that I like the best. This is my favorite bit, I gotta be honest. I'm gonna give this thing a rating. So my rating system is, if you've never seen a review before, first of all, welcome. I hope that I've earned your subscription. Please subscribe. If you have, then you know what's coming up. But if you haven't, I give it a rating at a best device ever, worst device ever, nothing in between, just best or worst. That is it. It's just best or it's just worst. And I am going to say that the Hadron 220 from Steam Crave fits into that best category. I know that's I justify it. It's justifiable. It comes as a squonk backpack. It's got a pretty good chipset, dual 21700 device. What more do you want? Back up. Leave me alone. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoy it. Like always, please like, please share, please subscribe. And remember YouTube, keep it cloudy.
A Gotta Slut production.